sensation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Ben in San Jose. Ben, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
I just wanted to thank you and your team and everything. I've been using your technique with the 10-minute charts, watching the VIX, and just making a fortune here on the futures.
Isn't it interesting? That's awesome, man.
It's wonderful. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everyone? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. We have kind of a weird week. We are going to have a full day tomorrow. That is for New Year's Eve, but of course we are going to be off for the January 1st. You have low volume today. Obviously, you have some movement. You know, we had a big gap down today in the SPY and the SPX, really, if I can get this going. Computer is moving slowly, and that's all right. It's maybe Y2K just 25 years late or something like that. But get this off today. You know, you basically have treasury yields rising, rates higher for longer. You have a lot of junk bonds getting defaulted on. Okay, we've turned green a little bit, though, which is fantastic. You know, and so today you had this massive kind of sell-off. Even the small caps that I'm following were getting totally torched. This is on low volume, though, right? So it kind of remains to be seen what happens going in, to the new year. It's kind of hard for me to call on this, right? One I would say is that you have the rest of the world not doing very well in any capacity, right? So you get capital flight into America, all right? You have some of these guys taking off some profits. This has been an insane year, and there's indications that inflation is going to, kind of persist into next year. I think the biggest threat that exists right now to the economy and really the market is going to be, well, one, I would say the high leveraging of, hedge funds and stuff like that. I think that can be a massive problem. There's some news headlines that Citadel is really leveraged pretty heavily. Of course, if you get inflation, persisting at these levels, and I think there's at least going to be an attempt to do so by growing the economy in the Trump administration, you can start having discussions of further interest rate increases, and I think you get to a massive, massive problem in that kind of realm. Take a look at the SPX right now. You're off about 0.71%. It's trading at 5,928. Take a look at the composite. You're off about 0.72%, trading at 19,580. The Dow Jones Industrial off about 0.68% at 42,702. You have the DXY trading at 108.09. Nothing really changed too much today. And there you have some consolidation over the past few sessions here, right around that 108 level. You have crude oil up about 0.71%, 71.10. That's the light sweet crude futures. Of course, Brent is at 74.09. Natural gas caught a big bid as well. If I can get it. Mainly because it looks like we're having this is going to be for January, but 3.7% right now. We have a massive polar vortex coming. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's kind of insane. We're getting temperatures projected in St. Petersburg, Florida, of 21 degrees Fahrenheit, which is insane. Let me just pull this chart over because this is kind of nuts. And there's been a lot of talk of I don't know what's going on. I'm back on Twitter, unfortunately, and a lot of people are talking about the fog. There's fog all throughout the Northern Hemisphere. And it's probably because of something like this. But this is going to be pretty severe if it comes, to pass in this way. I can't find the exact chart that I'm looking for on it. But you're having negative 40s, negative 35s in the Midwest, So, be careful, right? I think this is going to show us as well kind of how weak our infrastructure is. One of the things that I would have liked to see, and I think Biden did somewhat of an interesting job with it, with the Inflation Reduction Act, but Trump as well, of really investing into infrastructure. Now, of course, it is inflationary, right? But we remember what happened in Texas when they got that freeze a few years ago, I mean, their whole system just kind of shut down. Now, of course, that is not always a common thing that's going to happen. But I think something like this is probably going to be pretty intensive on infrastructure. You might see some like outages. Obviously, it can be very dangerous situations, stuff like that. So that might be some catalyst going forward as well for more investment within infrastructure in America. I think it'd be kind of interesting. You have the gold contract trading off about 0.42% at $2,620. You have copper off about 0.57% at $4.09. You had silver off 1.73% at $29.45, and then the Russell off 0.49%. Actually doing somewhat better. Some of these small caps have been doing okay today. There's a lot of pump and dumps that are still going on. One in particular, I believe this is, I'll get it over the break. I know what it is. This is it. Ocean Power Technology. This is up 83.48% today. Okay, volume at 129. We'll talk a little bit about this, kind of go into their financials, but this is one I want to, put it out for you guys. They've been trying to pump this thing for the past few weeks, right? They're making AI buoys. There's some communication or some idea that they have some kind of deal with Palantir that renders Palantir essentially wanting them to succeed. I can't find anything that I would make sense of that conclusion, but regardless, they've been trying to pump this for days. You see this massive movement up to 53 cents, comes right back down, and this is where this pump occurred all throughout December, or at least the setup for it, and now you're getting it today on really no news at all. So be somewhat careful if you're looking into this kind of stuff. There's a lot of these forums online that talk about the micro caps, and some of them are interesting. Some of them I could absolutely see, having some kind of legs to stand on. Something with Ocean Power, I don't see that at all, especially at 126 million market cap, and it's kind of unclear what they're going to do, if anything, that's going to be able to make them money and keep them elevated like that. Now, I will say as well, as far as things that Palantir can pump up, I mean, you take a look at our Cat today. We're now trading over 1.1 billion in market cap, up 15.33% today. I'm not sure, again, there's any news. I mean, the exercise transaction, this is $4.8 million, though, and we're talking about a $1 billion company. Now, they are setting up with Palantir to work on, this is called the Black Widow drone, which I think is very interesting tech and probably will become, at least what they're trying to do platform-wise by making it not communicate with GPS, I think is huge and probably will be standard going forward. Hard to say if Red Cat will be able to actually keep a moat with that. I'm not sure that's necessarily proprietary technology, but I think being able to utilize kind of Palantir's just basically system in order for the drones to know what they're operating in, I think is good for Red Cat. Now, this is pretty much speculation at this point here at 15.42%. There's no news today. Everything else will be getting smoked. So kind of unclear why RCAT gets this bid today. But I'm following it. It's an interesting company. A lot of people are memeing it, and at some certain point it takes on a life of its own, and weird things can happen. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back. I believe Steve Rhodes will be on with us after this break.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's look at some stuff in the den. Watt, interesting, up 371.85%. Dan said that. Yeah, and then Bob, yeah, I know, CTM, blowing up. We're going to talk about these guys in just a moment, but first, I want to go over right here to TFNN.com. Now, every Monday, and it is a beautiful Monday today. We have, we're going to be off on Wednesday. It's the new year. Time to, kind of focus on what we want to do. Let's go over to the newsletters tab right now. This is a great time to check out. If you want to get into trading, or maybe, you want someone right by your side, or however that works, whatever makes sense for you, I would suggest taking a look at our newsletters tabs. Our services are great as well, but I want to put into focus today mastering probability. I think one of the most difficult things for myself in the morning to get organized before I place trades or look into some stuff is just kind of seeing what the macro overview is of things, or maybe even a more granular look at certain equities. That is why I really like reading Mastering Probability in the morning. Now, I strongly recommend checking this out. Steve Rhodes, I just like his analysis. I think it's very unique. I think he finds stuff that other people aren't looking at, and I find it extraordinarily informative. I want to say, if you have never subscribed to Mastering Probability, you can do so risk-free. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee on all of our newsletters here right at TFNN.com. So check it out. It is the new year. Let's get trading. Steve Rhodes, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jacob. How about yourself today?
I'm doing well, kind of in a weird holiday kind of torpor, I think. But the new year, I'm very hyped for it. I'm interested to see what the market brings us. How are you doing?
Doing good, but now you scared the heck out of me. Did I hear you say 21 degrees somewhere in Florida?
That's what this chart is telling us, Steve.
For when?
So it's supposed to be in 2 weeks. I think they're saying January 11th or something like this.
No kidding.
Yeah, okay. So massive polar vortex is going to hit us. We have to cover our arbicolas, Steve.
Absolutely. Well, I hope it doesn't come, and if it does, I hope that Lake Okeechobee just simply stops that cold weather and it doesn't slide all the way
right
down here. But hey, you were discussing
yes.
an instrument. I thought maybe we would just simply start there.
I like
not anything that I know anything of or what have you. And I'm agnostic to what it is that we're looking at when I take a look at the charts, because the patterns that I use, it wouldn't matter what we throw up here. As long as I've got data, I can narrate what the charts are communicating to us. And this one's specific. There's about 3 or 4 different topping patterns that I use. So I make it pretty simple as far as teaching subscribers and traders what to be looking for. It's interesting. You said that I have a different view on the markets.
Yes.
And I can remember a compliment and then a not so compliment that was paid to me at one point in time. This is by a woman that I dated for a long period of time. and she said to me, she said, you know, the reason that she really didn't care for me, so to speak, was because I thought differently. And then the woman that I'm married to, she says, you know what I love about you? You think differently. just to screw up us guys or what have you.
I think it is great. You know, some of the best alpha, really, in my opinion, can be caught by thinking outside the box on some of this stuff and looking at things that other people aren't. I think it is a fantastic quality to have.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And I always thought it was a unique way to be able to, you know, to live life, is to not necessarily think like others. But in this case here, back to our cat, it's kind of jumping around here. So if we take a look at, it's got unique patterns. It's showing topping signals on the daily, weekly, and the monthly time frame. So if we look at a daily time frame, it actually has two different tops that formed on Friday. One was a TD9 count pattern, and the other was a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. Now, we take a look at my chart on the left-hand side. What we'll see is that price found support today at that little squiggly green line. That squiggly green line is referred to as an oscillator and change line. That's representing the difference between the 19 to 39 period exponential moving average of price out here. And what's really great is the line is either green or red on my screen out there. And when it's green, it tells you that conditions are bullish, period. Now, we trade above profile resistance levels, and that was at 1041. That's also a bullish signal. So we've got a bearish pattern, yet I'm saying that the technicals are showing us bullish signals. So when you form a top, when the market forms a top, the only thing it's done is it wants to get back and test support. So the daily time frame so far for RCAT has done that successfully. What it hasn't done is take out resistance. If it was to close above the high from a couple days ago, December 26th, that high is 1491. It'll negate that signal and tell us about a further move to the upside. The weekly time frame is slightly behind, and that last week it formed bar number 8 of a TD9 count. When I refer to the TD9 count, something that I teach subscribers out there, and it's easy to learn. Everybody should know this pattern out here. The high of that pattern needs to form bars 8, 9, or the bar following bar number 9. You've got to get to at least bar number 9 out there. And that's going to form this week on Friday inside of RCAT. So whether it takes out the high from last week or not, it'll have a TD9 count top as well. Now, in its case, what price should do is pull back towards the 936 level. Interestingly enough, coming into the day tomorrow, the monthly time frame chart is going to have a completed TD9 count top as well. So anybody that was thinking about chasing this instrument here, I would be very careful.
Yeah.
Now, if these patterns fail, the daily first, closes above that TD9 count pattern, slightly different outcome, but still you've got the weekly and the monthly to pay attention to. So this thing's been a bit of a rocket ship. I wouldn't suggest that anybody chase it, certainly not unless these patterns were to fail. So I was just going to throw that out. I didn't have a ton planned. I do have some things that I wanted to take a look at and share with folks. But do you have any questions about this set of charts or anything else that you would add to RCAT?
No, I personally don't. I think, well, one thing I can say with definitely like stocks like RCAT as well, one of the things I like looking at is kind of like the retail sentiment on a lot of these guys, because retail has a lot of money that they are floating in. I mean, we've seen stuff with like CLSQ and WiseKey and even CTM to some certain extent, Castellum, which is one I've been kind of looking at over the past few days. You know, I mean, retail sentiment can drive these companies up pretty significantly, sure, right? That allows them to dilute, right? Get some cash and kind of expand out, you know? Personally, for me, I would say with Red Cat today, I mean, you're making pretty big highs, right? You're at 1491 today. You have a market cap of 1.1 billion. They had very abysmal earnings, but because they were able to get some money from this massive rise in their equity, they really make a partnership with Palantir and keep going on, right? So I can kind of see maybe some kind of sell-off at these levels. But overall, I think Red Cat, until something, some other news comes out, somewhat bullish on the stock. For me, I think it's a little expensive at its market cap and at its kind of revenue. But it's interesting to me, and that's why I like, having you on, because you take a look at these kind of technicals and it helps me get a better picture as well, Yeah.
In this instance here, it's not something to chase, at least not just yet. It looks like you're going to get, daily, weekly, monthly kind of pullback or retracement out there. One of the things I was kind of searching around this afternoon, what is it that I could share with folks that are out there as we come into the last trading day of the year? And what I really like is when, no matter what time frame, and I've got the 15-minute time frames up for the equity equity future contracts. And what I really like is when everything is in unison, when all four of these instruments are giving you the same message. I think that it provides us with a ton of information. Now, this morning, I was doing the show at 11 o'clock, didn't get on until 11:30 because of technical issues here. But if I take a look at the 15-minute time frame and take a look at this morning's bottom, how did they form? They were Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom patterns. They formed between about 10 and 10:45 out there. But each of them also formed a top, and they all did it at the same time with this TD9 count top. Folks, tonight, if you look at futures and the ES Mini is traded about 5990.25, it's going to rally further. In the NQ, it's 21,567. Dow futures, it's 41,300, and the Russell 2000, it's 22,5740. If price starts trading above those levels, we're going to see a further rally overnight.
Fantastic. I believe we're also going into the ad right now. Steve, thank you so much for coming on.
You bet.
Really appreciate it. Take care. Happy
care.
New Year, Steve.
You bet.
Folks,
Bye-bye.
we'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, everybody. I was just joined by Steve Rhodes. Steve is the author of Mastering Probability newsletter. He's also the host of The Trader's Edge on right here at TFNN, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Every day the stock market is open. I don't have much more to add on to Red Cat, but definitely, when you make these kind of like big all-time highs, I would say, especially on news, or without any kind of news, this thing is going to want to kind of retest a little bit, right? And it has kind of rejected a little bit, but And honestly, the volume's not that bad. This is a really big bar today. Excuse me. I'm laughing because of, excuse me, just how volatile some of these stocks are. Give me 1 second here. What I want to take a look at, because it blew up. Well, first, let's talk about CTM. Because we were covering this thing at like 33 cents. It's trading at 244 right now, 72.47 at 137 million market cap. It's so sad when you see something at 21 million up to 137, you get out too early. But that's okay. You got to take your profits when you get them. You cannot get greedy. That is how you get destroyed. So, okay, we did have some action earlier because throughout when I was looking at it last before I kind of went live. So basically, all right, long story short, this thing is running pre-market, which I always get somewhat spooked about because you can never really control it, So, I mean, you had around 5 o'clock on the close last session, run up to 305, kind of sells off weird price movements around these areas, and then you get up, okay? Market open, pop-up dumps, natural. I try not to trade like right in that time frame because I think that kind of situates it out for the day. Nice movement up, made another nice near high. Okay, come back down and we were just cooking sideways to slightly lower for the rest of the day. And then we just got some action here. So, and this is not on any insane news. So I'm kind of guessing there's maybe some retail, I think it's just retail buying getting into this, obviously. At these levels, I get concerned again. So the question is like, can you re-enter on this, right? The runway for these guys, they got a new CEO. They're trying to clean up their financials, which they needed to do. New CEO was good at that. He's like, we're going to clear this up. We're going to get rid of some of this debt. We're going to get some more funding. And our main goal is to essentially get more government contracts. Well, they just got the go-ahead to bid on Oasis Plus IDIQ contracts. So this is very good for them. I think at these levels still, you can run into dilution, right? But that's not always a bad thing, okay? Like I think the stock maybe still has some, area to move a little bit. So when I see dilution come about, it's good because you can buy on that dip, right? Or even better, it resists that and you can see the inherent strength, at least in the short term, on that kind of equity. So we'll see what happens. I don't have a position right now. Of course, I mean, this run really did happen after hours, Now, you could have bought it something around here at this major sell-off at 199. You're trading up 246. But, it tried to push up on some decent volume. You had a sell-off on some decent volume, some movement down, and then kind of a rejection of that move down on some okay volume as well. And then we've just been kind of moving sideways on low volume for the whole day. It's hard to do that when you have a holiday coming up. And I think people, as we get closer to inauguration, that risk of uncertainty, I think starts becoming a little bit more potent, which we might be seeing now. Now, things like Castellum and these small micro caps, that doesn't always affect them, right? I mean, everything's down today, it's up 73.59%. But I'm kind of looking for another round of dilution, which I think they should do because they do need capital. And then from there, we see how that kind of reacts. And if it's a nice, strong reaction to it, like off that sell down, then I think that's a neat place to kind of get in. Additionally, talking about Watt in the Den, Energous Corp, not sure, up 420.99% today, 211. I don't know why. I can't see a single thing that's would make that make sense. And I'm looking at their 10K or 10Q, excuse me. This is for September 30th. It doesn't seem like anything's in their pipeline. I mean, they had okay revenue for the 3 months ending, but that was $230,000. And okay, I'm at 19 million market cap. That's interesting. So I wonder what this market cap. I'm not going to do this math right now, but okay, small market cap. Okay, maybe that makes sense. I try to look into insider transactions to see if anyone knew anything. And the last thing I can see is from October 18th. It was an acquisition, but there's been no there's been no action on the thing, so I'm not sure what sparked this move up today in any capacity. I will be watching it, but that doesn't, this can easily just go right back down to where it was prior, especially if there's no news or anything in the pipeline and this just caught a bid for some random reason. I haven't seen it being spoken about anywhere. So, that almost makes me think that like it is something big going on. Because I don't think this is necessarily retail. It might be like, at these levels and stuff like that. But I have seen no kind of like general retail coverage on this at all. Kind of interesting. But I also can't make any argument for it looking at their financials and there's no news. I guess they do wireless charging, which I guess is kind of cool. But, I wonder, is it for drones? I'm trying to figure out what the angle could be and what's kind of been like momentum trading for the past few weeks and see how that fits in, but I can't find anything at all. This thing is still pumping. We just went up another, okay, yeah, coming back down a little bit. But you just ticked up another 13% right there on a minute, which is unbelievable. Look at this go. It's 440%, 445%. Weird. Be careful with that kind of stuff, Let's see, what else did I want to speak about? Core. Core did pretty well today as well. I don't think I spoke about this. I think I was looking at this over the weekend, but this is another thing that ran kind of over the weekend. Trading at 46 million market cap right now, up 10.86%. That's actually gotten, that sold off pretty heavily today because we were sitting at these kind of higher levels. And so my thing with Core, and I'm going to talk about it looking at some of their financials, if I could find it where it was. Yes. So they do IoT stuff, which I like a lot. They've done some acquisitions recently, which I think is good for them. Cash is a little bit lower. Debt is not, not horrible compared to cash or current liabilities, which I think is phenomenal. I like that in these kind of guys. But they're not really growing in a major way. Their total revenue is essentially unchanged, both on the 9-month and the 3-month. This is ending at September 30th, is essentially unchanged. Total cost of revenue, unchanged. Operating loss, now that is a little bit better. We'll talk a little bit about this when we get back, but I think it's because they had goodwill impairments prior to this, so I don't know. We're going to talk a little bit about Core, but this caught a bid and people have been speaking about it a little bit, so I think it's worth taking a look. Stay right there, folks. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to take a closer look at Energous. This thing is weird, and I was trying to look up like any news on this thing or any kind of post anyone had been posting about it with, like Rohan. And I just find stuff from like 7 years ago, same kind of concept. Buying the dip, this thing rallied up 92%. 4 years ago, thing rallies up 90% out of nowhere, right? Like for what reason? So I don't know. I mean, I think this thing just comes right back down. I don't know what's pushing it. I mean, this is obviously getting pushed up at some certain point by just momentum traders and everything. But kind of crazy. If you know anything about this company of why this is like rallying like this, and there's like just some news I'm unable to find, please let me know. But I'm looking on their website. The last thing they had was December 3rd. It was an Energous awarded scalable multi-phase contract with Fortune 10 retailers. I mean, this is just like wireless charging, I would assume, for IoT devices and mobile. So I can't really figure out what this is. I'm trying to look. Yeah. Let me see if I can get latest news. Yeah, latest news is seriously from that time. That's so I don't know. Be cautious with that. Kind of looking back at Core, it seems like they did a lot better because they didn't have a goodwill impairment for this quarter, which improves them a little bit. But I think long term, these companies are having a hard time. The ones that are getting pumped recently is the same thing we were talking about like with Electronics, where they're just not really growing, even though it's in IoT. And I think IoT does have a ramp going forward, but you're getting these things with like small flows on days with like no volume, getting like pushed up and then pushed down. I mean, you're trading up like 30-something% earlier today in Core, and we're approaching now we're at 6.97% at $2.61. So I don't know. I think like, I think there's hype that's building around things in IoT, and that might be another kind of like cycle to play into. But as it stands now, I didn't take any trades today. I don't want to. I just weird feeling with everything going on, especially with that market open. And I think what essentially happened is it popped up pretty heavily. There's a few stocks that are doing this exact same thing. And then you just get sold into the entire day. That's kind of where I'm at with that. Another one that I think might be worth kind of talking about will be Resolve AI. There's two AIs we can talk about. There's MD AI, which is interesting. This is Spectral AI. They are doing actually something kind of cool where they're using AI to analyze, it seems like predominantly burn victims, but any kind of general like skin wound care, and it's somewhat neat. I was reading their investor presentation. I mean, they've gotten $250 million to kind of develop this out. This is non-dilutive government funding. Very interesting. Revenue of 2024 being at 28 million. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, you're trading at 58 million market cap, and these guys haven't really even pushed out in a major way. It seems like they're making some kind of progress with this. More hospitals, this is in America, more burn centers are using them, trauma 1 through 3 ED units, wound care centers, and podiatry as well. And they're saying it reduces unnecessary surgeries by nearly 47%, which is pretty cool, Yeah, unnecessary surgery admission cost reduction per patient of $58,315, 41% reduction in unnecessary transfer, 3-day reduction time to surgery for burns. So kind of interesting. Kind of looking at that, it's MDAI. That was another thing, again, some stuff that caught bids really early in the day and is now kind of selling off. I think this is kind of just a general thing that's going to be happening here in the market. And then we take a look at Resolve, which I think might actually have some interesting, established room to run on it. You're trading at 976 million market cap right on that now. And the question is, what do they do? They essentially are doing AI that interacts with you via e-commerce, right? So if you're trying to, keep in mind, this is actually what ChatGPT, I think, was initially released like, right? So hey, I want to order from this restaurant, you would speak to the AI that is launched by the restaurant. It would help you figure out what to order, etc. The idea of this is customer solutions in e-commerce. Resolve is at the heart of this. Have strong deals with Microsoft, strong deals with Google. It's a $7.6 billion conversational commerce market following strategic partnership with Microsoft and Google, which I think is super interesting. And you can see, this is one of the more practical applications of LLM that can immediately generate a lot of revenue for companies. So, I can't find too much of their earnings, unfortunately, because they are a British company. And even looking at some of the, British has Companies House and Open Corporates and stuff like that, but there's not anything that's necessarily analog to something like Edgar that we have, which is somewhat unfortunate. Now, if I dug for a little while, I'm sure I could find some good data on it. I think Wall Street Journal has some stuff posted, if this is correct. Let me see here. Yeah, so they're saying that, which is kind of insane. They're saying that their cash and short-term investments are about 107,000. Total debt at 2.91 million. Total liabilities at 9.77 million. And then that's kind of it. They don't have anything on sales, which is unfortunate. Net income growth is off 159.36%, but I would like to see actual data to understand why that's the case. Because if that's just, they're just dumping money into expanding or, getting more contracts or whatever, partnerships, whatever it may be, that's still appealing, but I don't know why 987 million is the number for this in any capacity. But I would say that it is a pretty fascinating technology, and to be locked in like that with things like Microsoft and Google, again, this is kind of what LLMs were always supposed to be. I think initially, right? It's just e-commerce almost. Now that expands out and there's a lot of different uses for them, but again, keep in mind that's what ChatGPT was starting on. So I'm looking at Resolve right now. Don't have an opinion beyond what I just shared with anyone else. I guess it converted 59 million variable rate convertible loans before year end, and that was into actual equity, which is pretty solid. So I guess people, who were able to convert did so in our keeping. So I think that shows some kind of sentiment that's positive for it, but I don't know. These are just kind of stocks I'm putting out. It's unfortunate there's not a lot going on, I would say, in a major way, except for Castellum and Watt. Wow, look at that move back up too. On some decent volume as well, and we just get a bar down. So watch for Castellum if you want to get in, again, for that dilution, which I believe is going to take place probably, honestly, after close today. We called it on the last one too, so that's pretty solid. What else? NVIDIA acquires Run AI. I'm still pretty bullish on getting into photonics. I made some posts on some of the forums I go on to see if I could crowdsource some tickers, because when I'm trying to look for these photonics companies, whether that's, converters or switches or just straight up pick makers, I am having a hard time finding anything that is, small market cap startup, which is what I want to get into if I can find photonics. So if you know that, please email me at jacob@tfnn.com. I can take a look at those. We can try to figure out something. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching The Tom O'Brien Show. We have just a short segment right now. Boy, oh boy. I think this is some good news, actually. The Biden administration is, quote, cracking down on banks by imposing a $5 cap on overdraft fees, calling them junk fees, which I think is kind of, I think it's a great thing, obviously. Very nice. I don't even know what the basis was for making them like $35, which is solid. Now, one of the things that I think is kind of interesting, and I'm not sure if it's such a massive systemic issue. I mean, it can be at some certain point, but it just depends, you know, if this private debt gets owned or where it's owned in. But the defaults on U.S. credit card loans are hitting the highest levels in the wake of 2008 financial crisis. And remember, we were speaking about this earlier this year, and actually, even though the amount of credit that was being used was far higher, you weren't seeing the level of default that you would kind of expect. I think default was up, but it was kind of below. If you consider it in a ratio with how many more people were using credit for certain things, which, you know, is a positive kind of sign. This is apparently has kind of tipped a little bit. The credit card lenders wrote off $46 billion in seriously delinquent loan balances in the first 9 months. Let's see here. That's up 50% from the same period a year prior and the highest level in 14 years. High-income households are fine, but the bottom of the third U.S. consumers are tapped out. That will start to become a problem, I think. You know, I don't know what starts happening when you start getting, you know, a lot of these people at the lower rungs of the socioeconomic kind of ladder just start defaulting massively, you know? And I wonder, right, I mean, what that can kind of do to the economy. I look at things like PaySign. This has been getting some analyst coverage, but it's the same kind of deal. You know, they're just, you know, payday loan kind of companies, but I wonder if things like this become a little bit more dominant. Same thing with the buy now, pay laters, right? It's just helping these people become more liquid in some capacity. Folks, thank you so much for joining me. We will be on tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien. Take care.